Okay, I decided I'm going to do a test to see how strong my tents are in the wind. Not that it's really windy right now, but I'm about to head out on the desert and it could get very windy. So 2 tents, I've narrowed it down from 4 tents to 2 tents that I'm going to consider taking on the desert section of the PCT. And I'm probably going to alternate between them. Anyway, they are the Durston X-Mid 1 Pro, weighs 1 pound, awesome tent, absolutely awesome. And the other is the Big Agnes Copper Spur HV UL1. It's the one-person version of the Copper Spur series. So what I've done here is use every single attachment I can for tying these down. So on the Durston, as you can see, I guess we'll walk around. We'll start from the top. Well, actually, let's start with the base. So I've battened down all 4 corners, as you can see. And then I've also, so that's the basic structure. And then I think the next series of poles to go are the ones for the doors. That gives nice rigidity to the doors. It gives you the vestibule, and you can open up one side, still have the other side openable, and it gives you good structure. And for most conditions, that's probably it. 6 stakes and done. But what I did was add various kinds of line locks to the tent, to the poles, where the poles come up, the peaks. I've also done it to the side pool. I used a bungee cord and then a cord going through a line lock. And then I also did the same thing for this additional pull out down at the base. So you can see it forms a nice V. And then there's the corner. And then on the ends, I did the same thing where I added a line lock with, I don't know, about 2.5 feet of cord so I can pull it out and stake that out. Again, I did the peak. That comes down. I think I've got about 8 feet of line. I'm using Andrew Skirka's knots and rope thing as my guide. And then I did the same thing on this side where I have used the this attachment on this kind of bigger face and the attachment here, and then brought them to 1 stake. So I now have, oh my gosh, let's count them. Let's start from the top. We got the 2 top ones, the 2 sides, so that's what, 2, 4. And then around the base we have, so let's see, that's 4. And let's start with this corner. We have 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 12 more. So 12, I guess we have 12, 13, 14 altogether. Anyway, lots of lines. And it's nice and stout. I mean, that's a good tent. It's a good stout tent, and I can very quickly tighten things by just using line locks. I've got enough cord that I can move my stakes around if necessary to get a better positioning. Like if a stake happens, you know, if it would naturally fall by a rock, I can pull this out. I can do the big rock, little rock thing pretty much with every line. So, and then to get in, it's the usual, just pull this up, right? And still plenty sturdy. So that's the maximum tying out you can do with the Durston. And I like it. All right, let's do the same thing with the Copper Spur. So this tent has, I have not secured the stakes down here because I don't know how much it would add, because these front pull-outs do such a good job of pulling the whole fly down, but I could have added 4 additional corner stakes. But anyway, what I'm doing is using all the 2 tie-outs that came with the tent, right? This one here and this one here. I'm using the side pull here, and I added a line lock to a carabiner, and I can clip it through these 2 lines, including, let's see if I can show you this. I have the floor, right, that comes with a biker footprint. It actually gives you a covered bivvy area, which I like. So, and then you've got the main tent. So that's pretty cool for that. And then I've added these line lock pull-outs for each side, so it just gives me more room and easier ability to pull these out. But the thing I've added that doesn't come with this tent, and it really should, is these. I had a seamstress sew these extra tabs on the middle of this back side of the tent, because my experience was it didn't take much wind at all to blow this tent, crush this tent inward with the wind, even when I staked everything else out, including those front lines. So I know they say, yeah, well, you should put these front lines into the wind, which is great if the tent slope is right and if the wind's not moving around. But frankly, I want more flexibility, and I don't trust that. If the winds move around, if I want my head on the uphill side and the wind's coming from the downhill side, then I want to be able to batten down the backside. So this is how I can do it. So there you go. I think the best freestanding tent for the money right there, the Copper Spur 1. We're talking single tents here. And the best DCF tent, ultralight, which is the Durston X-1. I'm going to trade off between these 2. I've about had it with the duplex. The duplex is got those stupid rainbow doors. Never been able to get those stupid drains at the end to work right. Never have. Probably set it up half a dozen times at this point and used it. And what else? No, it's just a lot of things I don't like about the duplex. I think it was great in its time, but there are now better tents, and this is one of them. So, between these 2 staked out like this, I don't know, it's a tie on which one is the sturdiest. I might give it to the Copper Spur, actually. The Copper Spur is really stiff. But the Durston is plenty stiff too. Yeah, and I think either one would, especially, you know, batten down like this, either one of these tents would do fine in the desert with winds up to, I don't know, I'm going to guess 40 miles an hour. You know, just exposed. So anyway, that's what I wanted to show you, how you could add these line locks using the carabiners, or just run a cord through the attachment points. Either way, the advantage of the biner is that I can just pull the lines off if I want. Okay, that's it. I hope this video helps you.